Progressives are making plans to push Democrats further to the left than they have ever been. A Washington Post poll conducted in January this year showed 51% of the country now supports socialized health care. That's crazy. Except look at the Democratic number. 3/4 of the Democratic Party now support it as well. 3/4. The party leadership is lining up in wave after wave, pledging their support. And people like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, they're all going to pile in here in the next few years. Socialism used to be something that only extremists talked about. But now their message is mainstream and supported by a vast majority of the country. So last month, a shadowy group of progressive donors met in Florida to talk about their progressive path to victory. It was called Way to Win 2022 Victory Party. The notable attendees were the current DNC chairman Tom Perez and the former Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe. Also, multiple U.S. congressmen were there. And the group organizing this is called Democracy Alliance. That sounds nice. We're going to do a whole week on these guys very soon. They are the Tides Foundation, just a newer version, funneling millions to progressive causes and groups on a massive scale. If they set the agenda, you can take it to the bank that the big names in the Democratic Party will soon be parroting those policies. According to their most recent conference, that agenda includes a single-payer health care, free college, and reparations. And so, in a nutshell, welcome to Venezuela. Oh, see now, I've revealed the magician's trick. That's the prestige they don't want you to see yet. They want to somehow or another convince you that something amazing is going to happen, just not Venezuela. But no matter how many times the president's girlfriends are paraded on TV or how many scandals they try and get you to click on and read, Venezuela is what you will always get. Remember, it was the same people that were praising Venezuela and saying it will never fall apart until it fell apart, and now you can't find them. But let me show you the reality in Venezuela. Over the last 60 days, the inflation rate has quadrupled. It is now at 18,000% and rising every day. If it continues at this pace, it's going to hit 100,000 by the end of the year. It's jumping 80% a month. Now let's put that into perspective. Our inflation rate is about 2.4%. Most healthy economies fluctuate high 1, low 2s. Nothing comes close to Venezuela. Now, you've heard the hyperbolic claims by American leftists. Here in America, we've got to do something because people are dying in the streets. But in Venezuela, they literally are. Last year alone, the average Venezuelan lost 24 pounds. Why? Because no one could afford food. I'm going to show you some video, and it could be disturbing to some, but you need to see it. People are so hungry and desperate for food that they are hunting down cattle with sticks and rocks. They have no food. So they are taking and stoning these animals to death just to get meat. They're at night looking for cats. They have eaten many of the animals at the zoo. They're eating dogs. And the supermarkets are empty. People stand in line for hours to draw cash from banks and even longer lines to buy food. But by the time they get there to purchase the staples like meat and bread and eggs, the daily inflation increase causes prices to double from what it was just a few hours prior, and they don't have the money. Now, President Maduro has responded, as is his standard operating procedure and the way progressives always do, by raising the minimum wage and printing more money. But this is pouring gasoline on a dumpster fire, and I'll show you why tomorrow. The current monthly minimum wage now in Venezuela is 2.5 million bolivars a month. Remember that number, 2.5. That's the average monthly wage. How much is 2.5 million bolivars? $2 a month. Could you feed your family on $2 a month? If not, we better start figuring it out, because this is the system that the new America left wants. And every single example where the government goes down this path, Venezuela is always the result. This is the actual price of socialism. But could your family afford it? Let's find out. Let's play The Price is Right, the Socialists edition. These here are current prices of staple markets in Venezuela right now. There's eggs, there's bread, and this may not be a staple in your family, but it certainly is mine, Hostess cupcakes. Now, keep in mind that your salary is $2 a month. You have to be frugal if you want to survive in the brave new world that socialism creates. The average cost of a loaf of bread in Venezuela now, remember you make 2.5 a month, 2.5 million. This is $1 million more than you make a month. By the way, this is equal to about $3.80. There goes your entire monthly income and some for next. And for eggs, $3 million. You're still over. Now, you may never go for this, but I think this is worth every penny. How much are the Hostess cupcakes? $12 million. You're working 6 months to pay for the cupcakes. So what socialists say is, yeah, bread's going to cost a little more, but wouldn't you pay a little bit more if everybody got a loaf? I mean, there's only $1.20 more than we're paying in the States. Yes, except to get the socialist utopia, you have to go off a gold standard. You have to just start going crazy and printing money. That goes up, but the value of your money goes down. That is why Venezuelans are quite literally starving to death.